So in the next 20 minutes, I'll be sharing with you how we can use SD-WAN to help enterprises adopt cloud in a more seamless manner, as well as I will share with you some of the key highlights of our secure SD-WAN solution. So first, let's take a look at what's happening in the region in terms of cloud adoption. So definitely in Asia Pacific, we are seeing that the adoption of cloud is projected to grow at about 100% in 5 years. However, I think at this stage, I think just now in the panel, you have also here, right, there are a lot of challenges in adopting cloud, and the penetration for cloud is very low at 20%. So in China alone, the figure is very phenomenal. It is growing at a rate of 64%, which is double that of the global rate of growth in terms of cloud adoption. So certainly a very interesting market in terms of opportunities to adopt cloud for enterprises. So let's take a look at some of the key drivers of cloud. So one of the key drivers would be the digital transformation initiatives of a lot of organizations today, as well as smart city initiatives. So developing countries in this region are also adopting cloud, starting to adopt cloud in a very fast manner. We also have regional startups offering innovative solutions. Revenue growth, companies looking for revenue growth, as well as cost initiatives leveraging cloud. And last but not least, I think the COVID-19 has also accelerated cloud adoption in many ways. Yeah, and the challenges mentioned by Leo just now, I think we have seen some of them. It can be both technical as well as non-technical. Technical in the sense from the connectivity perspective, right? How do we connect to the cloud, and how are the challenges companies are facing in terms of the legacy network infrastructure, lack of visibility and control as the traffic goes into the internet and into the cloud. And of course, last but not least, security concerns that we talked about just now on the zero trust network topic. So lack of skill set is also one of the key reasons why the adoption of cloud is very slow, as well as the last point here, which is the lack of cost control in terms of cloud consumption model. So with this, I think what we are putting down here is a few suggestions of the key considerations for enterprises who are in the early stage of cloud adoption, right? So which are the areas that you should be thinking about from the network perspective? So the first three considerations here are actually related to how do we connect users to the cloud effectively and efficiently. Richard talks about network as a service, combining different components of applications, services together. So that demands for a new type of network. And I think the first thing that enterprises should do is to take a hard look at the design of their network and determine whether there's a need to redesign and re-architect the network, leveraging new technologies like software-defined WAN. The next step, they can actually look at how to improve the cloud experience, because with visibility, right, with SD-WAN, they can look at what kind of experience their user is experiencing, accessing the cloud. And of course, the third is to always design and integrate with security in mind. So as cloud adoption grows for a particular company, he can also consider adopting multiple clouds so that the company would not be relying on a single cloud for cloud consumption. So you can consider multi-cloud as well as multi-cloud networking. Last but not least would be how to optimize cloud expenses. So I think these are a few simple steps as a framework that an enterprise can look at. Let me move on to the next slide. Sorry about the technical view. Yeah, so the first part that I'll be covering on would be on SD-WAN. So why is SD-WAN critical to cloud adoption, and how can it be a key enabler of cloud? If you look at the traditional architecture, right, it is almost a bottleneck for accessing cloud because all the traffic are backhauled to a data center. And definitely it adds on to the latency of users in the branches trying to connect to a SaaS application, let's say. So companies that we meet nowadays, they are migrating to a more distributed architecture whereby every branch office is breaking out into the internet and accessing to the cloud. And I think that's where a lot of complexity come into the picture, because you have to, everything seems to go out of control, right? You have traffic going into internet without visibility, going to the cloud, and you have traffic like Zoom or Luck in China, all the work productivity tools, not able to perform properly under a distributed environment, which is leveraging a lot on internet. So that's where SD-WAN fits in nicely here into the solution. It is able to virtualize the enterprise network, thereby creating a unified fabric for the organization, different sites of organizations to be connected to. And it will be easy for IT to deploy different types of policies consistently across all the different sites. SD-WAN can also help to enable network automation. You'll be able to direct traffic with network policies automatically based on the applications and based on the performance of the path. So we talk about security a lot, and with SD-WAN, basically in a SASE type of architecture, right, we are able to integrate security into the network, into the first point of entry of the corporate user. Last but not least, I think it makes network cloud ready with all the easy management and all the network visibility. But again, however, with all the new technologies coming in with SD-WAN capabilities, there are some of the pitfalls that we have seen in the market and in some of the deployment around the world. So one of the key pitfall is neglecting the issues of the internet. So by deploying boxes just at the end will not solve any underlying quality problems of the internet. And that was what Richard has mentioned before, whereby we need to be able to optimize the underlying network in order to have a complete solution for our customers. Because we are dealing with a region which has multiple providers. In China alone, there are many ISP providers with varying SLA. And in Asia alone, I think the number of providers and the number of internet service level types will be very daunting. So the lack of understanding of peering strength, peering bottlenecks, or cloud regions, all these are key areas to consider for companies that are going to leverage or migrate to SD-WAN and cloud. Yeah, so here, I think here is some of the key highlights that I would like to share with you with regards to our secure SD-WAN service. We call it the eNet Connect. It will help enterprises build an agile, secure, and cloud-oriented network. There are a few components that I would like to introduce to you here. The first is SD-WAN itself. If you look at SD-WAN itself, these are the various features and benefits that will be provided by SD-WAN, including centralized management, zero-touch provisioning, quick deployment, path selections, selecting path based on the type of traffic that we are having and the type of applications, and a universal CPE, where we have by default added in a 4G backup so that we can provide a very high level of service for our customers. And of course, we have also DevOps. Our DevOps team have also provided a service portal for the customer, which is able to allow them visibility of their traffic over the different underlying networks, as well as cloud and internet path visualization. So these are all integrated as a service for the customer on the SD-WAN platform. And next, I think the key differentiator for our product, as Richard has mentioned, is the SD-WAN underlay. So this is very interesting because a lot of times enterprises using SD-WAN, right, would still hit quality issues. And by integrating our SD-WAN underlay, we are able to optimize and resolve all the challenges of the underlying network issues. So this SD-WAN underlay is really built upon CBC's advanced IP backbone. Let me go to the next slide to give you some high-level introduction to the CBC IP backbone. We have a coverage of nearly 90% of business cities in China. Beyond China, we are leveraging the public clouds to build this CBC SD-WAN underlay fabric. And really, I think the concept of this SD-WAN underlay is that it will be able to provide a high-performance, congestion-free, fully paired with all the global Tier 1 and China Tier 1 players. So with this, we hope to be able to optimize and provide the highest level of service with a combined SD-WAN platform. So optimization service solutions here that we provide to customer today include site-to-site connection. We call it the hybrid connect. Optimized SaaS accesses to Office 365, accesses to Salesforce. We call it the Express IP. The platform is also seamlessly connected to different clouds and multi-cloud networking. And last but not least, the security component. We have seamlessly integrated some of the security features, including UTM features. This is able to defend us, the enterprises, against all the attacks, ransomwares of up to 3 million viruses globally and in China itself. We also offer a secure DNS service, which is able to prevent and control access for corporations to malicious site and classified sites. And of course, we have remote SSL VPN solution for our customers, which is riding on the same secure and optimized platform as well. So let me go into some of the use cases to explain the concept of our SD-WAN solution in more detail. So the first is a user that is, I think this was back in January, February time during the start of COVID-19 in China. This is a global enterprise, and they have came to CBC and said that they are facing a lot of challenges in terms of users in China trying to access Azure or Office 365 from their home, because they have to work from home then. And at that time, they are experiencing packet loss of up to 20%. So what we have done here is that we have provided them our secure eNet solution together with our SSL VPN solution. The performance is very much improved with a packet loss of less than 1%, and we have installed this for 350 employees across 3 cities in China. Yeah, these are some of the performance metrics. You can see that this is the normal internet that they have used, and using our internet, that we are able to reduce the latency for them, as well as reducing the packet loss from 4% to 0%, nearly 0% here. So the second use case is for a US-based software company who wants to connect AWS in China and to US. So in this solution, they are facing a lot of challenges in terms of experiencing high packet loss and latency between the 2 AWS regions. Direct connect is out of the question because it can be too expensive for them in China. So we have provided them this solution on our eNet Connect platform, which we can connect and build elastic cloud routers into the customer's VPCs, so that once they hop onto our fabric here, they are able to have a very much improved performance of connecting both the AWS in the 2 different regions. So here's a note to mention also that in our solution, we are actually fully connected in China to all the top 3 clouds, in fact, all the top public clouds, including Alibaba Cloud, which is 46% of the market, Tencent Cloud, 17% of the market. And globally, we are also connected to top public clouds like AWS, Ali Cloud, and Azure. Now, the third use case here sort of sums up everything together. Basically, it is from the perspective of a multi-regional and multinational company, what they will need to deploy a regional cost-effective SD-WAN fabric, achieving both security targets that they need, a secure and optimized connections between sites and into the public clouds and into SaaS. So first, we deployed a low-cost site-to-site connection for this customer because they would want to move away from MPLS. And deploying this actually makes sure that their connection is secure as well as having high performance. We also extend their network into the AWS cloud via the eNet fabric. And thirdly, we have enabled their users to have an optimized access to Office 365 and Azure outside of China. Fourthly, if you look at all the orange boxes here, these are all the security UTM boxes that are not boxes, appliances that are integrated into the network, whether into the network or into the UCPE, depending on the construct of the customer design. So we have been able to deploy different types of antivirus security UTM services for this customer. And last but not least, remote users are also be able to join the same fabric and enjoy the same features and services as if they are working from the office. Yeah, so this is in a nutshell. So I guess this is one of the key takeaways, and which is, as Richard mentioned, network as a service. Consider CBC as your partner in your cloud migration journey. So it is the same journey that I mentioned earlier, but I think here what we are saying is that we have all the different services and the different products that we are able to support you with in your cloud migration journey. As your cloud journey grows, I think that is the time when I can hand over to Manan to talk about how to simplify your multi-cloud networking. With that, I thank you for your time. Thank you.